Shane McMahon's heat with WWE. CM Punk calls an AEW move ugly. My review of AEW Dynamite and more. I'm Ollie Davis, and this is the WrestleTalk News.
Support WrestleTalk!
Give us a subscribe. It's now been 24 hours since that image broke wrestling Twitter and potentially turned the AEW WWE war on its head. I am, of course, talking about this photo posted by Stokely Hathaway. I mean, just can't take my eyes off it. It's perfect. Stokely's face. It's perfect. I don't even know what else is in that photo. Oh yeah, and there was also that image we revealed to the world of Shane McMahon having a secret meeting with AEW CEO Tony Khan. The meeting wasn't referenced on last night's episode of Dynamite, but Shane himself has issued a statement to Busted Open Radio. Tony and I were connected through a mutual friend, and we had a great meeting. We talked about many things, but mostly about our shared love for the business and the rewards and challenges of working with family. I congratulated him on the 5-year anniversary of AEW and look forward to how he evolves the business moving forward. Some 4D chess does appear to be afoot, with WrestleVotes posting. Asked a longtime WWE employee friendly with Shane for thoughts on the Tony Khan picture. The response: Shane's as smart as they come. Taking a preliminary meeting doesn't surprise anyone here. But what is surprising is the person who's revealed they took the photograph, with AEW TBS champion Mercedes Moné posting, "Lol, I took that pic. Tongue out with money emoji," or they're sick with money emoji, because the tongue's green. I don't really understand it. While Mercedes might have been involved in Tony and Shane coming together, with Moné revealing McMahon gave her his number back in June when they bumped into each other at an airport, as the outlet that released the photo, we can confirm Mercedes Moné wasn't the one that sent it to us. But now Wrestling Observer Radio might have shed some more light on Shane's motivation. I know Shane McMahon has looked to get back into WWE. I know that the people in charge of WWE have no interest in him. It was noted that could change now Shane is hovering around AEW. In fact, leveraging talks with WWE could be the very reason Shane is chatting to Tony Khan in the first place. But there's a lot of negativity that I would say has been there for a long time. This might be what led to Shane suddenly leaving WWE in 2009, when Vince started to favour Stephanie and Triple H as his apparent successors. Apparently, it was his mum Linda who pushed very, very hard for Shane to return in 2016, implying that any heat between the various sides still existed. It was around that time that Vice revealed there were two warring factions inside WWE, the Stephanie Triple H side and the Shane and Kevin Dunn axis. With Dunn also having left WWE last year, Shane has lost another ally there. Hopefully, if Shane does become all elite, it doesn't backfire like AEW's other big piece of hotshot booking several months ago. Back in April, Tony Khan aired the actual footage of CM Punk's backstage fight at All In, which ultimately led to Punk being fired with cause from the company on an episode of Dynamite. Punk was asked on Jimmy Trainor's SI Media podcast about AEW airing the CCTV footage, where he said he isn't rooting against AEW because he's got a lot of friends that work there, but on the All In footage, it felt really ugly. But then I was just like, why? Showing that footage isn't going to help them or hurt me, so I was just like, whatever. Being the top draw in two different companies is pretty wild. Like, thanks, guys! CM Punk to Chris Jericho's Learning Tree confirmed. Our brand new episode of Video Game Club is now up to watch on our Let's Play channel, Control Freaks, where Laurie Sullivan and co. are playing Moving Out 2. It's chaos. Here's a clip.
So I'm just going to drop it.
All right, I have to go around the other side.
Drop it.
Guys, something's gone on.
What's happening?
No, Laurie, you're fine.
You're right. I think you're going to be okay.
You're okay here.
Help.
I'll help you though.
Give me a hand.
Let me just push it.
What is this?
Oh yeah,
It's in the
no,
way.
cool. I don't need help, Laurie. I'm all good.
Yeah.
I'm going.
Someone want to catch this?
Right,
Who wants to catch this?
There we go.
Oh,
Well,
you broke it.
I need you to catch it as
You
well.
broke
Laurie's the
it.
worst thrower
Someone
I've ever
catch
seen.
this.
Yeah, go on, chuck it.
Yeah, go on, there you go.
Oh, good throw,
Oh,
mate.
wow.
great throw,
no,
mate.
really good.
Shut up.
No, do the same thing you did last time. That'll work. What did Einstein say? Keep doing the same and it'll eventually work, I think.
Yep.
Now it's time for my review of AEW Dynamite in about 5 minutes. MJF opened the show for the third week running, where the newly rebranded American champion immediately started crapping on America, saying that South Carolina is addicted to meth. Only one man can save the honor of America. British guy Will Ospreay. He chased Max off and talked up the legacy of the International Championship that MJF has disrespected. Champions like Pac, Orange Cassidy, Jon Moxley. The other people since Jon Moxley. Ray Phoenix? I don't know, this isn't Survival Series, I'm not doing this. This turned into our opening match of Ospreay versus Lance Archer, a tale of Will doing a flip and getting caught in a chokeslam. Until third time's the charm, he reversed a chokeslam off the second rope into an awesome Spanish fly. Will won with 2 hidden blades in the best match him and Lance could have had for the time they were given. But MJF wasn't done, so he attacked Will from behind and started to prepare his heelish diamond ring. Only one other man can now save the honour of America. Australian guy, Kyle Fletcher. Fletcher chased off MJF and got on the mic to tell Don Callis he's going to help Will even though he's not in the family anymore because he's his best friend. It set up MJF versus Fletcher for next week, where Max promised to break Kyle's neck in front of Ospreay, just like he did when he beat down Daniel Garcia. Interestingly, the Wrestling Observer is reporting Fletcher wasn't originally planned for this spot. He was a late replacement for a mystery, very outside the box guy who had commitments they couldn't get out of. Could it be? Overall, this was a really solid focus segment, blending promo with match with angle in a very substantial way. My only criticism is that the country versus country heat isn't hitting 100% with me. Big Bill presented Chris Jericho with a celebratory cake for having held the FTW title for 102 days. But then, in a moment more shocking than Shane meeting with Tony, the cake was not put into anyone's face on a wrestling show. Brian Keith will wrestle Shibata next week. After first colliding in the Owen Hart tournament, mortal foes Chris Statlander and Willow Nightingale had a championship eliminator match for the CMLL women's title. Yay! Another title in AEW. The crowd weren't as loud as I thought they'd be for what's been a very decent blood feud between Willow and Chris, but they got into the final few moments. Stokely Hathaway distracted referee Aubrey Edwards, letting Chris cheat with a chain to win. Statlander continued the beatdown with a chair afterwards, knocking down some security too. A decent match with a winner I didn't see coming. After months of doing interviews saying he doesn't really want the World Championship and he's winding down his in-ring career, Bryan Danielson had the rather difficult task of making us believe he's winning at All In. But did he succeed? Yes. 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 He first spoke about being present in the moment. Because his career was ended in 2014, the last 7 years have all been a bonus. Then he spoke about promises, how he promised his daughter he'd stop wrestling when she was 7, and that this AEW deal was the last contract he'd ever sign, which expires today, the 1st of August. Crowd gasp. But even with all that, he promises he's going to give it his all at All In. Crucially though, he never promised he'd win the belt. But I don't know how much to read into that, because I also think Brian is playing 4D chess with me, aka the Shane game. It's the 2017 SmackDown General Manager and Commissioner game. Swerve Strickland interrupted, perfectly balancing his heel and face tendencies, pointing out Danielson lost to Ospreay when Swerve won, that Danielson lost to the Elite when Swerve's team won. He's the most dangerous man in wrestling, and Brian might not walk out of All In. That was enough to make Danielson go truly all in. He said if he doesn't win the belt, he'll never wrestle again. At Wembley, it's going to be title versus career. This is what the match needed. Epic stakes fitting of the epic occasion. And usually when someone puts their career on the line, it's a bit of a giveaway they're going to win. But with Danielson, it's far more 50-50, and it will make for a uniquely emotional time at All In. Danielson, now fired up, challenged Jeff Jarrett backstage to a match next week. It's Dynamite's weekly 6-man fun spot. The conglomerations Mark Briscoe, Orange Cassidy, and Ishii, aka AEW's Chaos, took on a new hodgepodge trio of Roderick Strong, the Beast Mortos, and Roosh. I've been watching Collision the last few weeks. I know what's gonna happen here. Mortos looks awesome going up against Ishii. He looks awesome going up against Cassidy. And then he takes the pin to get someone else over. So I was pleasantly surprised at unexpected result number 2 on this show. Mortos pinned Briscoe to win after a really fun match. Perhaps that's to set up a ROH title feud. The Acclaimed called out FTR when those two teams should really be focusing on the Young Bucks, who haven't defended their tag titles since winning them at Dynasty 3 months ago. Renee Paquette had a pre-recorded sit-down interview with Mariah May. She didn't say anything new on why she turned on Toni Storm, but this was a far better presentation than her heel in-ring exposition promo several weeks back. Toni then appeared on the ramp screaming about how Mariah broke her heart. Mercedes Moné declared that her and her new muscle, Camille, are a faction called the Moné Corporation. Someone saying two people are a faction. That's my kind of heel. Camille squashed enhancement talent Brittany Jade to establish her physical dominance, and Mercedes revealed that EVP suspended Britt Baker for her actions at Comic-Con. I know I say this every week, but I want to keep repeating it so we never turn her face again. Monet is so much better as a heel. However, why doesn't Tony Khan just unsuspend Britt Baker? And the main event saw Hangman Page versus Darby Allin. If you asked me before this episode, I would have probably told you Hangman and Darby have wrestled at least 20 times in the past. In fact, I would have probably described the great feud they had in the pandemic. Well, slap down my Mandela effect. Turns out none of that ever happened. And this is somehow the first time these two have ever fought. They had a terrific match with Darby doing a coffin drop off the entrance tunnel in the opening few minutes, Hangman hitting a fall-away slam on Darby into the hard edges of the steel steps, and our third unexpected result of the episode. Hangman's anger probably getting the better of him, so Darby was able to win with a technical pin. I've criticised Dynamite in the past for being too predictable in their match results, so it's only fair I praise them when they do it right. The only thing I would have added here was some motivation for the match. I get that they were on opposite sides of last week's Blood and Guts, but what is Hangman's relationship with the Elite right now? Is he being sent out here to soften up Darby for Jack Perry? There was some storyline potential missed here. Overall, a very enjoyable and solid episode at 80%. Now go watch our video game channel Control Freaks, where Laurie Sullivan and co are playing Moving Out 2.